Hey everyone, George here, the Disney Family Man. What's going on? Coming to you with another video. And today I thought I'd talk about my recent experience this morning, getting up a little bit before 6 a.m. Eastern Time to book my dining reservations for my upcoming July trip to Walt Disney World for me, my wife, and our son. And I tell you what, when you are anticipating on making any kind of reservations and there's like a crunch time that a lot of other people are getting on at the exact same time you are. It gets a little bit intimidating to say the least, especially when you are um, wanting to get specific dining reservations for specific dates, especially because when you have theme park reservations now with this new system, that you can get that dining reservation to be a little bit more flexible. But if there is not a theme park pass available for that day, then there's nothing that you can do about it. It's either you opt out to not go to that park because obviously there's no pass available for you to get, or you opt out that day at losing the dining reservation. So, I mean, it could get a little bit monotonous and a little bit confusing, but I thought I'd actually go with you through the list of dining reservations I had made for our trip because, as my wife would say firsthand, I am very anal retentive when it comes to our Disney trips. So I love to have everything perfect. It's a little bit of my OCD when it comes to Disney, and I just love having everything kind of in a balance so I could actually say that I did my best to make this trip more magical for all three of us. Now, mind you, that if there wasn't a dining reservation that I would have got, I would have been kicking and screaming and rolling all over the floor. No, I'm just kidding. I would have been upset, but I would have gotten over it, and I would have found something else in the place of it. It still would have been a very magical vacation, to say the least. But I am happy to announce that I actually got every single dining reservation that I wanted for this trip, and it's all of the click of the finger. Whether you're on your laptop, your desktop computer, your phone, your iPad, what have you, whatever you're using, you have to be ready and know what you want ahead of time, because if you don't, it by the time you actually search the list of saying, oh yeah, I would like that, I would like to do that, those reservations may be gone. So kind of already set up a plan of attack, so to speak, of knowing what restaurants are available, what restaurants will be good for you for each particular day, and setting up a time frame of when you want to space out those dining reservations, because you don't want to have a dining reservation that's 2 hours apart, because what a lot of people, it's a common misconception that, oh, okay, well, it's a 2 hour window, I may be hungry at that time. Well, you have to think that's when your check-in time is. By the time you're actually seated, get your drink, put in your food order, get your meal, eat it, digest, pay your bill, and leave, it's pretty much to go ready for your next dining reservation. So you don't want to do that. And if there is a time to not, have so many dining reservations, that you will be charged. I believe, do not quote me, I'm not sure, it may have gone up, but at the time it had happened, I think it's about $20 to $25 per person if you skip out on a reservation or forget about one. So make sure that you know what you want at a time that is more respectable, that it gives you enough gap time to kind of be hungry again, to say the least. So let me get right into it. I actually have it on my phone here on the My Disney Experience app, and I'm just going to go down the list. Normally I will put it up for you to see, but I think it's really nothing too much to see. It's just on the app, it just shows, the date, the park, the restaurant, and the time. It's really nothing. But starting on July 1st, we're going to Epcot. And to kind of kick things off, it sort of became a tradition, non-tradition sort of thing, where we didn't plan on it, but we love dining at Rose and Crown, especially the outdoor seating, where you could see World Showcase Lagoon. and where they're starting to kind of get everything set up for the nighttime show Harmonious. So Rose and Crown is a great, not even just a great place for food, but it's a great just dining location. Like its setting is perfect, and it's also to the fact that it's in the UK pavilion. So I'm a big fan of fish and chips, and so is my son. And the fish and chips that you get it's massive. It's completely massive, and it's just one of those things that it's probably best to eat with two people, so he and I will share, because it's a lot of food, and my wife loves the shepherd's pie, so it just became a tradition thing that when we go to Epcot, especially on our first day, because we always start our trips at Epcot, because out of the four parks, it's the most for us anyways. It's less rushed. It's not so monotonous. With crowd levels. It's a great way to start and kick off the vacation on a lower tone, and then move our way up to the more crowd pleasing parks that packs in a lot of people at a time. And so moving on to July 2nd, we're at the Magic Kingdom, and we're going to be dining at the Jungle Skipper Canteen. Now that became a favorite of mine when I first dined there in 2019, when I went down in October. And I love the dish. It tastes like chicken. It actually is chicken, but it's just titled that. That Jungle Skipper pun. That it's really good, like with the stir fried vegetables mixed with like this teriyaki glaze sauce with like a breaded chicken. It's very good. I highly recommend it. Out of everything on that menu, that is my favorite. It's also my wife's. This will be our second time together going there, and we already know that we're getting it tastes like chicken automatically. And then moving on to July 3rd, we will be at Animal Kingdom. And starting the day off, we're going to have lunch at the Rainforest Cafe, which is located in the front entrance of the park. And it's going to be an early lunch, to say the least. It's at 10:45 a.m. Now, the reason why I did that was because by the time we get to the park, it'll be early already, so we can kind of start our day at the front entrance of the park and then move into the park later on in the day. And then, as I said before, it kind of gives that time to space out for a future reservation later on in the day, which brings me to at 4:55 p.m. we'll be dining at Tiffin's inside Animal Kingdom. So again, from 10:45 to 4:55, that is a great time frame to kind of split both reservations up. And then moving on to July 4th, yes, we will be down there for the 4th of July. We decided not to do a park on the 4th of July just for the crowd levels and everything and the chaos that could happen. We just kind of wanted to have a relaxed, chill day. But so far, I only made dinner reservations because we're pretty much going to probably hang around our hotel for the day. Do some swimming. Probably get some food at the food court because we're staying at Pop Century. But I made dinner reservations at 5:30 at the California Grill, so we will be dining there on the 4th of July. So I'm very, very excited about that. Moving on to July 5th, we are we are going to Disney's Hollywood Studios. And this day was very crucial for me because I really, really wanted, out of all the restaurants, I wanted the Sci-Fi Dine-In Theater restaurant that's located in Disney's Hollywood Studios on Commissionary Lane. I'm sorry, Commissary Lane, or sorry, I got mixed up there. Commissionary, yeah, I wish it was a commission, Commissary Lane, I apologize, folks, Commissary Lane. It's not really the food, because they have a lot of basic foods. They have salads, they have burgers, they have fries, they have onion rings, but it's the environment of the restaurant that is so unique. You enter in a building, and it's like you're outdoors in a convertible car watching a drive-in movie. And it's just, especially now, because there's not so many drive-ins, available. And I grew up going to the drive-in as a kid, and it's just one of those notions that it takes you back into your childhood, and the theming is great, where you could actually dine in your own convertible car while watching black and white, creature movies and classic cartoons that was around in the 50s and the 60s. It's awesome. So that was the very first reservation that I made for July 5th, and I was able to get it. There was one reservation left at 4:25 p.m., and I was able to get it. Then coming to July 6th, we're back at Hollywood Studios, and the way that our schedule worked its way, that we had a double day of Hollywood Studios back to back. So starting the day off, we're not heading straight into Hollywood Studios right away. On our way, because since we're staying at Pop, we are connected to the Skyliner, and the Skyliner will go to several Disney Resort hotels on property before going to your final destination of either at Epcot or Hollywood Studios. We will be making a slight detour and stopping at Disney's Riviera Resort for breakfast at Topolino Terrace, which my wife and I have never dined in there before. We briefly walked through the hotel, but we didn't really get like a whole gist of what it's about, and we really think to start the day off, let's dine at breakfast in Topolino Terrace. So that was great. And then inside the park later on in the day, a fan favorite, the 50s Primetime Cafe, we're going to have for dinner. And I highly recommend the fried chicken. It's awesome. You get each piece of the chicken. You get a thigh, a breast, a leg, and a wing with, I believe it's green beans and mashed potatoes. And I have to say, the chicken is to die for. And so, as you can say, the chicken died for you. So it comes full circle. And then moving on, July 7th, we are back at Magic Kingdom, and we're eating at Tony's Town Square. Now, the thing with Tony's Town Square is it's not a fan favorite, to say the least. It does get a lot of flack, just with the menu choices and the restaurant style and what have you. But I fairly enjoy Tony's. I can't say it's my all-time favorite restaurant in any of the Disney parks or on property, but it still gives you that sense of like you have that feeling that you get while in the movie of Lady and the Tramp. You get that feel, and I enjoy it. My wife enjoys it, and I know our son enjoys it. So we haven't had it in 3 years. We haven't dined in at Tony, so it's great to maybe go back and see if anything changed, if anything's new, and just to see how it is. Now, coming on to July 8th, it's another one of our free day from the park days. And I actually, this time, rather than just stay at the resort again, we probably will still have a pool day and what have you. But I kind of filled in the gaps. So we're kind of like a little bit on the move of exploring the Disney resorts and starting out with breakfast at Chef Mickey's at the Contemporary. So that's going to start off our day at 9:20 a.m. Then at 1:40, again, you want to space it out a bit, we're having lunch at Beaches and Cream, which my wife and I loved on our last trip in October. You don't need a reservation for Beaches and Cream if you wanted to get a dessert or an ice cream or what have you. If you want the food and have that kind of experience, it's best to dine in the restaurant. And it's very popular. You would think for an ice cream parlor shop / mini diner, it's not popular. It very much is. The reservations fill up fairly quickly. And then moving to dinner at 7:45, we are going to Disney Springs, which I haven't been to Disney Springs and I can't tell you how long. It's been a while, but we're having dinner at the Boathouse, and I'm very, very, very excited about that because I never dined in the Boathouse before. This is actually all of our first times on that one. Then coming to July 9th, we are back at Hollywood Studios. Yes, I know it kind of seems like in the center of our trip, we spent a lot of time in Hollywood Studios, but it's just how everything just kind of panned out with the reservations. And again, it's sort of kind of like you have to pick and choose, sometimes if you really want that dining reservation, you have to adjust your schedule of what parks you do on what days. So just keep in mind of that. So on July 9th, we're back at Hollywood Studios, as I said, and this was an option that my son really wanted, and I was really trying my best to get it for him, and I was able to do so. And at 12:20 p.m., I made reservations at Oga's Cantina inside Galaxy's Edge. And again, this is sort of something like you don't really focus on like any of the beverages or the snacks that they give you. It's more so just the environment and the overall theming that you're inside the cantina. And just for my son, because he's a huge Star Wars fan, and I've experienced it, and I want my wife and my son to experience it as well. And then for dinner, we're eating at the Hollywood Brown Derby. I absolutely love. If there's one restaurant that I would be so heartbroken to see leave out of that park, it's the Hollywood Brown Derby, because it does give you that sense of old Hollywood, that classic tradition, original type of theme of how Hollywood was in the 30s, the 40s, the 50s. And and the food, the menu is, they have the best scallops to me on property. I actually had to order 2 orders of scallops. They were that good. And my wife is not a fan of Cobb salad, but she became a fan favorite of the salad after having it at Hollywood Brown Derby. On July 10th, we were back at Epcot, and I got reservations at 1:15 p.m. for a restaurant that I was not able to get reservations for how many times that I've tried, and it was my number 2 on the list to make sure I try to get it right away, and it's the Garden Grill at the Land Pavilion. And I know that some of the features aren't available as of right now. I'm not sure if the rotational movement inside the restaurant still is, where like the scenes change while you're sitting and eating. I'm not sure if it is, but it's just a new fun restaurant. It's not a new restaurant, but it's a new experience for, again, my wife and son to experience what I have experienced. So so that'll be new for them, and I'm just glad to go back. And then dinner at 6:30 at Via Napoli. It's a favorite of mine. I'm big on Italian food. I'm Italian myself, so I've dined in there many times before. Their brick oven pizza is to die for, and their pastas are delicious. So if you're a fan favorite of pasta and pizza, and done the traditional Italian way, definitely go to Via Napoli. On July 11th, we're back at Animal Kingdom, and this isn't just, I know I keep on using the term fan favorite, but for me, this is a family-friendly favorite of ours and tradition as well. Yak and Yetis, that there was only one reservation left, because again, this restaurant is very popular. I was able to nab the 1:15 p.m. spot for it for lunch. And then later on in the evening at 7:15, kind of a late dinner, we're having dinner at Sanaa, which is at the Animal Kingdom Lodge. So the Animal Kingdom Lodge is adjacent to Animal Kingdom Park, so it'll be kind of a hop, skip, and a jump to go there. And then on July 12th, I do not have reservations right now for July 12th during the time of this recording, and that is because of being that today was the first day for reservations. I have to wait till tomorrow, May 3rd, to make a dining reservation for July 12th, and then May 4th on Star Wars Day for our last day on July 13th before we check out on July 14th. But to kind of give you a gist of what I'm trying to look for, on July 12th, it is our free day. Again, our last free day of our trip. I'm probably going to make reservations probably somewhere again around the resort, like at a resort hotel. I'm not sure which one. I'm kind of aiming towards Narcoosee, but the only thing is with Narcoosee is it's in the Grand Floridian, and our last day, July 13th, we're at Magic Kingdom. So I'm trying to contemplate on whether to do dinner at Narcoosee on the 12th, which is our free day, or being that we're already going to be over in that area, to have our final big dinner at Narcoosee's on July 13th. So I'm kind of debating. I'll probably see how it is tomorrow to to see how the reservations are for Narcoossee on the 12th. I may make it just to kind of cover my own self of, at least nabbing a spot for Narcoossee. If I don't use it for the 12th, I could always move it to the 13th and pick something else out for the 12th. And as I said before, then we leave on July 14th, and that's when we check out and come home, which will be a very sad, dark day for me. I always go into Disney depression when I'm leaving my beloved resort. So that's all the info I have for you as far as our dining reservations. Comment down below. Is there anything that you agree with me as far as did I make the right choice of dining reservations? Is there something that you would suggest, something different? I'd love to hear from you guys. Comment down below. Like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. And as always, stay healthy, stay safe, stay Disney. Bye, everybody.